Hey, welcome back everyone. Howie here at High Octane Cards for your Sunday night review of the Dixie Vodka 400 Cup Series race at the Homestead Miami Speedway. A quick overview of the race. William Byron, of course, was the winner, won at an average speed of 124.669 miles an hour. There were 6 yellow flags for 36 laps of caution. 2 of those, of course, were stage breaks. 1 was a competition caution, so that was half the cautions right there. 1 was for debris on the track, and of course, Eric Almirola and Ryan Blaney got in a bit of a dust-up in the late stages. I don't want to say like super late, but it was with about 80 laps to go. The 2 big stars of the race were Chris Buescher and William Byron. They both won stages. Buescher led for 57 laps. William Byron led for 102 laps. Both of those are career highs for both drivers. They've never led that many laps. I believe Chris Buescher had only led 6 laps as the most laps he had ever led in his career prior to today. Your top 10, we're going to review that real quick. William Byron was the winner. Tyler Reddick was second. Truex was third. Larson was fourth. Harvick was fifth. Michael McDowell came home a strong sixth, with Ryan Newman seventh, Kurt Busch eighth, Alex Bowman ninth, and Kyle Busch, for his first top 10 of the season, came home 10th. A few notables throughout the race. Denny Hamlin finished 11th. Daniel Suarez was 15th. Chase Elliott was 14th. Bubba Wallace was 22nd. Matt DiBenedetto was 28th. And of course, we mentioned Eric Almirola earlier. He was 30th. A little bit of a shakeup in points. Hamlin still leads the points. Harvick second. Logano's third. Michael McDowell a strong fourth right now in fourth place in points. Chase Elliott is currently fifth in points, followed by 6 through 10 as Kurt Busch, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., and Brad Keselowski. Really wasn't... It was a good race overall. I thought that there was a lot of passing. Homestead lends itself to be a multi-groove racetrack, which is really, really nice. People like Kyle Larson and Tyler Reddick get up right along the wall. Some of the other drivers, like William Byron, Denny Hamlin, a few others, they tend to be middle of the road, or even of what they refer to as bottom feeders. Not a lot of... the most exciting part of the race was the restarts, where they'd go fan out 4 and 5 wide. One stage, I believe it was the second stage, ended with a 1-lap shootout. Got kind of exciting there, but it was all in all a good race. It could have been a lot more, I don't want to say boring, but the action kind of ebbed and flowed. They had a lot of tire wear going on, which was really good because you had these different pit strategies. At the end of the race, like I say, Kurt Busch, he came home in 8th spot, but with about 35 laps to go, he pitted because of a loose right rear tire, lost a lap, and he was way buried down in the 30s, and because of the tire wear, he managed to drive his way all the way back up to 8th place, so just a really, really good recovery for Kurt Busch. Let me look at a few of my notes here. We were talking about points. A few notables in points. Ryan Preece is still in 11th. Of course, that team is not a chartered team and does not have funding for the full season, so very impressive for those guys. William Byron, today's winner, was 13th. Bubba Wallace is currently 16th in points. Kyle Busch is 18th. Ryan Blaney, Dave is his dad, but Ryan is mired way back in 24th, and Matt DiBenedetto is 34th in points. Only Quinn Houff is the only other driver going for points that has run all 3 races that is lower in points than he is, and only has, I think, 3 less points than Matt DiBenedetto. So hopefully the 21 group can get things turned back around. Also, now Kevin Harvick and Michael McDowell are the only 2 drivers to finish in the top 10 in all 3 races this year. And then with the winner today, William Byron, it was his second career win. Of course, he won at Daytona back in August, I believe it was. It may have been, yeah, it was right before Darlington. No, it was after Darlington. I can't remember when it was last year, but he won at Daytona, the fall race on the oval, to get into the playoffs last year. Of course, that was the last race before the playoffs. So both of his Cup career wins have come in Florida. But this was kind of interesting, and I went back about 35 years to dig up some stats. With McDowell, Bell, and Byron, those 3 drivers to start off the season have a combined Cup career win total of 4 wins. I thought that was pretty interesting. So I went back a few years. 2001, Michael Waltrip and Steve Park both got back-to-back wins to start 2001. They had a combined total of 3 career wins at that point. 1995, you go back to Daytona 500 winner Sterling Marlin. Second race of the year at Rockingham was Jeff Gordon. They had combined 5 career wins for the first 2 winners of the season in 1995. 1990, this one kind of compares to 2021. You started the year with Derek Cope winning at the Daytona 500. Then you had Mark Martin win at Richmond and Kyle Petty won at Rockingham. So they had a grand total at that point of 6 career wins. Cope had his first win at Daytona. Martin had his second career win at Richmond. And then Kyle Petty got his third career win at Rockingham. So that one can kind of compare a little bit to this year. But the one that really, really takes the cake is 1986. Now, bear in mind, 2021, there's only 3 manufacturers, Ford, Chevy, Toyota. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota have all now won 1 race this year. In 1986, there were 5 manufacturers, Ford, Chevy, Pontiac, Buick, and Oldsmobile. All 5 won in the first 5 races. Now, 1986 started, Jeff Bodine won the Daytona 500. That was his 4th career win. Kyle Petty won the next week at Richmond. That was his 1st career win. Terry Labonte won at Rockingham for the 3rd win of the season, for the 3rd race of the season. That was only his 6th career win despite being the 1984 champion. Morgan Shepherd then won the 4th race of the year at Atlanta. That was his 2nd career win. And Rusty Wallace won the 5th race of the year at Bristol, driving a Pontiac. Bodine was in a Chevy, Kyle was in a Ford, Labonte was in Olds, Shepherd was in a Buick, Rusty was in a Pontiac. That was his 1st career win. So in 1986, the first 5 winners only had 14 career wins total. So I think that compares really well to this year. So I think this is going to be a year like 1986 or 1990, where there's going to be a lot of surprises throughout the year. I think you'll get one dominant driver. Dale Earnhardt did win the title both of those years. So I think this will be a year like a Kevin Harvick or a Martin Truex Jr. or a Kyle Busch. Somebody's going to get a slow start, even though Harvick's been pretty strong, and Truex and Busch have been kind of under the radar. Earnhardt was the same way in both of those seasons. I think that probably about race 7 or 8, after Bristol Dirt, I think Busch or Harvick or Truex is just going to turn it up, and they're going to come out and win several races this season. And this with the 3 different winners so far this year, this really turns the heat up for the playoffs, because it looks like the 3 drivers are easily going to finish in the top 30 in points, so there's no chance or very little chance that they'll be eliminated that round or that rate. But when you start talking drivers, let's say that Matt DiBenedetto gets a win here soon. I think Kyle Larson's going to be a favorite at Bristol Dirt. You got a few other ones along that, that are going to be 15th to 25th place drivers. And if 2 or 3 of them rattle off a victory, that's really going to tighten up that front bunch, to where you might have a driver that finishes 9th or 10th in points that doesn't have a win. And when I say 9th or 10th in points, into the regular season points, might finish 9th or 10th, but they don't have a win and they get bumped from the playoffs. So it's really, really going to escalate that that bubble spot as it gets closer and closer to the year as the drivers that have won. I don't see McDowell staying in the top 5 or top 10 in points all year. I could see him being about a 21st, 22nd place when we start the playoffs. William Byron, I think he'll be around that 14th, 15th, 16th spot. Christopher Bell, same way. Not saying that they're not great drivers. I just think that they'll kind of funnel through, and you get through that long summer haul, and they'll start fading a little bit, and other teams will start rising up. I thought those were just some interesting statistics that I wanted to share with you guys. Of course, next week is the Pennzoil 400 presented by Jiffy Lube at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Should be another great race. I believe they do their West Coast swing. I think they run at Phoenix. I really haven't looked at the schedule real close. I do know Bristol's coming up in a few weeks, so I'm really, really excited for that. The first dirt race in the Cup Series since 1970, I believe, 70 or 71, 1970. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed today's review video. There wasn't a lot of action as far as crashes to talk about. There wasn't much controversy. Only 3 cars failed to finish today, which was Timmy Hill. I didn't write it down, and I should have. I do know that Corey LaJoie had a problem, and I can't remember the 3rd driver that failed to finish. I want to say B.J. McLeod, but I'm probably wrong there. Should have wrote those down, so I apologize for that. But only 3 cars failed to finish. So very, very low attrition. And again, with Homestead being a wide, sweeping track, it's a driver's track. It's kind of like Michigan. You have opportunities to pick lanes. So It's not like Bristol or Martinsville where you know you're going to get roughed up a little bit. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed tonight's review. I enjoyed today's race. It was had a good start, had a good finish, a few good surprises in between. So I think that's what 2020 is going to be about. So I appreciate you guys watching. Tomorrow we'll open up. I think we'll go back into the hobby box of the 2021, and I'll have some more details about the Max 1992 break in that video. So thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's late Sunday, but there's a little bit of it left. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you tomorrow.